My name is Mike Farrell. I'm CEO of Landscape Management Group. In this project, we took a very small backyard and completely transformed it. This house was built in the 1900s, and so our goal for this project was to blend that modern look that was being requested with that old look of the house to really make it feel cohesive. The space, as we've mentioned, was really small. It was kind of boring. It also felt very enclosed, so the fence was coming off the front of the garage and then coming off the very back of the house. So it just kind of felt like a big box. We were trying to create a kitchen space with a fairly sizable bar and then also a fireplace, of course, a large patio, plenty of seating area, plenty of area to fit furniture. We obviously wanted to decorate it with some nice landscaping and then light it all up at nighttime. That created the ambiance that we were looking for. During the design phase, we went through a lot of different revisions. The real struggle was trying to fit everything we wanted into that one space, which I'll later explain why it was so important to push that fence line back and rebuild that wall. In this kitchen design, the last thing we wanted to do was make things feel cramped. And so we really had to thoughtfully go through this kitchen to make sure that everything was spaced perfectly. For example, the distance from the burner to the sink or the pergola post running down through the granite to the fridge. We just needed to make sure everything fit the way it needed to fit. So with the pergola, number one, that height was perfect. But number two, that the post spacing was laid out in a way that it didn't get in the way of other elements of this project. Moving to the front of the house, we wanted to make sure that we took those same design elements and implemented them into the front. One of those things was the steps leading up to the porch, which of course was wrapped just like the back. Those step treads were intentionally natural stone to really blend in with the age of the house. So one of the problems we had on this project was that this huge maple tree was protruding into our project area. So we had to deal with that. Another problem on this project was that we had to move the fence line back. But to move the fence line back, we really had to rebuild the entire wall that was holding up this property from spilling over onto the neighbor's property. To do that, we had to actually tear down the 100-year-old wall and then rebuild one, which ended up looking very, very good from the road. This allowed us to fit the fireplace, the kitchen, the bar, and then the patio that's gonna have all the room we needed for the furniture. The basic project flow was the demo of everything, basing up for the walls, the conduit, the drainage, the footers, and the kitchen, the fireplace, laying the patio, installing the pergola through the granite countertop that we installed, the landscaping that goes all around everything, the fence itself, and then of course the lighting to light it up at nighttime. This project was so exciting from the start to the finish. To see the final result is always mind-blowing, and we do so many of these projects, but they always turn out better at the end than we even envisioned at the beginning. This particular project really blew my mind on how the small space that we started with turned into a space with so many different elements. The specific highlights of this project were the cedar around the porch wrapping the porch itself with the stone, the kitchen build out, the granite countertop, and the space that it gave us with the post going through it, the gas to the fireplace, the fence being a horizontal fence gave it a unique look. And then of course, just pushing the fence line back made a huge difference. Even allowed us to install a putting green in the corner where that space would typically be wasted. The lighting on this project being lit down the walkway, the lighting under the kitchen, in the fireplace, the lighting on the walls, and then the landscaping to really just icing on the cake to top everything off. So in a project like this with so many moving pieces, having a project manager is extremely important. There's a lot of things that just happen in the middle of the project that you need to be able to facilitate, but also forecast so that everything gets done in the proper order and turns out the way you want it to turn out.